Greg woke up with a strange sensation. His body ached, his mind was confused. He rose slowly and looked around, only to realize he wasn't at home anymore. The room was both familiar and strange. Everything seemed normal at first glance, but something was off. As he stepped out of the room, Greg noticed subtle differences. Colors were more vibrant, sounds sharper. As he explored his new reality, he realized the world around him was upside down. Laws of physics were inverted. People acted opposite to what he knew. Determined to understand his situation, Greg set out in search of answers. He encountered acquaintances, but they were no longer the people he once knew. His best friend, once gentle and patient, was now impulsive and aggressive. His mother, once caring and loving, was now distant and indifferent. Greg found himself struggling to adapt to this inverted world. Each interaction left him more confused. He found some clues about what might have happened, but nothing made sense. It was like being trapped in a surreal nightmare. While desperately searching for a way out, Greg encountered others like him, people who didn't belong to this inverted world. Together, they formed a small team determined to uncover the truth behind this distorted reality. Among his new allies was Julia, a brilliant scientist who believed they had been transported to a parallel multiverse. She suggested that, to return to their world, they needed to understand the laws governing this inverted universe. With Julia and the others' help, Greg began unraveling the secrets of this upside-down world. They discovered that every action had an opposite reaction, that good could result in evil and vice versa. Greg realized that to find his way back home, he needed to reverse his way of thinking and acting. However, time was running out. They discovered that there were dark forces determined to keep them trapped in this inverted universe. Greg and his allies needed to be quick and cunning to overcome these obstacles and find a way to restore order. With each challenge overcome, Greg drew closer to the truth. He realized that the key to his liberation lay not only in understanding this inverted world, but also in accepting and embracing the dualities within himself. As they faced the climax of their exploration, Greg and his allies prepared for the final confrontation with the forces keeping them imprisoned. But what awaited them beyond this confrontation was a shocking revelation that would change everything they thought they knew about the nature of reality. As Greg and his allies delved deeper into the inverted universe, they encountered more perplexing phenomena. Basic laws of physics were twisted, turning their world into a bizarre puzzle. They found themselves in situations where gravity seemed to repel rather than attract, causing objects to float aimlessly in the air. Light bent in unusual ways, casting strange shadows that danced unpredictably across the landscape. Time itself flowed erratically, speeding up and slowing down at seemingly random intervals. Confusion reigned as Greg and his companions struggled to navigate this topsy-turvy reality. Simple tasks became daunting challenges as they grappled with the inverse nature of their surroundings. In their frustration, they began to blame the inhabitants of this world for their predicament. They accused them of casting some sort of malevolent spell, trapping them in this upside-down existence. However, their accusations only led to more absurdity, as the inhabitants responded with perplexed expressions and nonsensical gestures, clearly as bewildered by the situation as Greg and his allies. Despite the chaos and confusion, moments of levity emerged amidst the madness. Greg found himself chuckling at the sight of a group of people attempting to walk upside down on the ceiling, only to crash unceremoniously to the ground. Laughter became a coping mechanism, a brief respite from the overwhelming strangeness of their circumstances. Yet, amidst the laughter and confusion, a sense of determination burned within Greg and his companions. They refused to be deterred by the absurdities of this inverted world. With each bizarre encounter, they grew more resolved to uncover the truth behind their predicament and find a way back to their own reality. And so, with determination in their hearts and laughter on their lips, Greg and his allies pressed onward, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead in their quest to unravel the mysteries of the inverted universe. With a feeling of relief and triumph, Greg and his allies finally returned to the normal world. However, months later, inexplicable events began to occur. People around them started experiencing strange and unexplainable accidents, all happening in close proximity to each other. Little by little, they began to notice a sinister connection between these incidents and their own experience in the inverted world. Upon investigating further, they discovered that the gateway to that world was the catalyst behind the accidents, resulting in the exposure of several individuals to the distorted reality. Haunted by the knowledge that they were indirectly responsible for these traumatic events, Greg and his allies decided to use their understanding of the dualities between the two worlds to try to correct the damage done. However, In attempting to apply the knowledge gained in the inverted world to solve problems in the real world, they were quickly labeled as insane and discredited by society. Deemed dangerous and unstable, they were interned in a mental institution, where they were subjected to inhumane treatments and deprived of their freedom. While languishing in their mental prison, Greg and his allies contemplated humanity's bitter paradox, the refusal to accept the different and the unknown. Amid suffering and oppression, they found solace in each other's company, sharing the hope of one day being liberated and the truth finally being recognized. Thus, in a surprising and disturbing ending, Greg and his allies faced not only the challenges of the inverted world but also the cruelty and intolerance of the society in which they lived. And although their current fate was bleak, they kept alive the hope of one day being understood and redeemed by those who once rejected them.